Hello, I'm Mayor Nenshi, and I'm speaking to you today on the eve of my 1-year anniversary in office, literally in this office, as your mayor. A year ago today, I remember that I was getting ready for the election the next day, doing last-minute media interviews, phone calls, talking to people, getting volunteers organized for Election Day the next day, all focused around the 12 better ideas that we brought forward during the campaign. There was an energy in the air, an excitement about what was possible for Calgary. And in some ways, I can't believe that it's been a year, because that energy is still here. Calgarians have always been a confident and optimistic people. But that hope, that confidence, that excitement about the future, you can still feel it in the air in Calgary. It's a part of the energy of who we are. And I'm really excited that that has continued between elections as much as it was during the election. But I also want to share with you an update on those 12 better ideas, an opportunity to see what we've accomplished in the first year in this office. And that's really what this video and the accompanying documents at calgarymayor.ca are all about. I owe it to you to tell you where we've succeeded, where we need to do more work, and how we're looking forward to moving forward together. So, I'm actually very pleased about what we've accomplished as a City Council over this first year. I think we've accomplished a heck of a lot. In fact, when you look back at those 12 better ideas, as you'll see in documents at calgarymayor.ca, we've made significant progress on 11 out of 12. The 12th one, campaign finance reform, is really an issue where we don't have the power, but the provincial government has the power to make change. But I'm hopeful that they will and help us get to 12 out of 12 by the end of this year. Let me share with you some of the highlights, and again, more details are available in the documents on the website. Really, we've done a ton of work in 3 major areas. The first is around building better communities, changing how Calgary is growing and investing in the kinds of things that make people happy to live here every single day. So we cut in half the subsidy that we pay to developers on the fringes of the city. We're developing on the fringes of the city, making it more cost competitive, but also making sure that infrastructure costs at the edges of the city are not borne entirely by all city taxpayers. We've created a new community investment fund, which means for the first time ever, there is an opportunity for non-transportation related infrastructure to have access to an ongoing source of funding. Half of that fund is being used for upgrades and maintenance of existing parks, libraries, fire halls, and rec centers across the city. And the other half is being used to build some sorely needed infrastructure, including 4 new branches of the Calgary Library, as well. That includes a major new central library branch to be located behind City Hall, and 4 new sorely needed rec centers, bringing ice areas, pools, and rinks to the city. I'm also very happy to say that we've launched the Calgary Poverty Reduction Initiative to look at how we can be a greater community by looking after all those who live in the community. The second big area is getting Calgary moving and keeping Calgary moving. Many people have commented on how much better snow removal was last winter, even in a really snowy, difficult winter, and it will only get better this year. We made investments in improving our transportation network for cars as well as for bicycles and for pedestrians, and we'll continue to do that as well and optimize the use of our network as best we can. Of course, we managed to get funded the airport trail, or the airport trail tunnel, substantially the completion of a major east-west link across the north end of this city without impacting your property taxes, and in a way that is actually much cheaper than not building the tunnel in the future. And of course, there's transit. We got rid of the $3 park and ride fee. We invested massively in increasing transit service hours, especially on the bus network. The machines finally take change. We made it to the 1970s on that one. As well as credit cards and soon debit cards. And very soon you're going to see real-time bus and train information using GPS technology to make your ride better. We have a lot of work left to do on transit, and that's going to be a major priority going forward. But it's worth noting that in the recent Citizen Satisfaction Survey, when we asked people who said their quality of life has improved in Calgary why, the number one unprompted answer was because transit is better. So I'm pleased that that's happening, and it's going to continue to get better. The third big area is all about transforming government. Calgary has always enjoyed, for a long time, the lowest property taxes in Canada, and will continue to enjoy very low property taxes. This council has agreed for the first time to restrict future growth of property taxes to the rate of inflation plus population growth. We have also reduced last year's proposed tax hike by a third, and we're looking for $140 million in efficiencies around the organization to make sure that we're serving you better. We're going to have some very difficult choices on the budget over the next several weeks, but my pledge to you is we will do those choices openly, we will involve you into the decision-making process, and we'll come up with a budget that holds the line on taxes while protecting the essential services that Calgarians need. We've also done a lot of other work around transforming government and cutting red tape, making it easier to access the city, involving citizens much more in the conversation about the future of the city, and that work also will continue. We've also made some changes in the leadership of organizations like the Calgary Parking Authority and NMAX, changes that citizens really were after us to make because those organizations needed to serve citizens better, and both I think are serving citizens better now. In particular, the Calgary Parking Authority has a number of great initiatives in place, which I'm pretty excited about. Probably my favorite one is $5 Friday, where we encourage people to come downtown on Fridays, have lunch, go for drinks after work for a flat rate of $5 starting at 11 a.m. through until the next morning. It's small innovations like that that actually make people's lives better and make people happier to live here, which is why I'm so excited about them happening. You know, we've got a lot of work to do. I think we've accomplished a lot in 1 year. I'm pleased and proud of what council has been able to do, what the city administration has been able to do. But we do have more work. But you know what? There is a better Calgary in our grasp. We've gotten many steps towards that in this first year. But together, City Council, City Administration, and most important, all Calgarians will be able to work together for the next 2 years and get even closer to that better Calgary. Thank you for the honor of serving as your mayor. I look forward to 2 more, even better years.